You know what makes everyone happy? Gifts, surprises, rewards. It feels amazing when you get recognized for your efforts, right? It's human nature to want validation for what you're doing, and it's a powerful motivator that keeps pushing us forward to do more of the activity that got us that reward. Why shouldn't that apply to influencer partnerships, right? You have to have some sort of a reward, some sort of a variable reward structure for your creator partnerships based on performance. And so in this video, I'm going to dive into exactly how you can tier your commission program and your reward structure and make sure that your influencers are motivated and rewarded for their efforts. If you don't know me, I'm Yash. I'm the founder at SARAL, which is an influencer marketing platform where hundreds of brands build their influencer campaigns. So I know how these reward structures look like on the back end across a multitude of brands, and I'm going to share you exactly what you can do to make sure that your creators are very happy working with you. Now, before we dive into exactly how you instrument a tiered reward and commission structure into your influencer campaigns, let me share a little bit more about why tiered rewards really make sense, because I really want you to do this, right? So, three main reasons. Number one, like we covered, it's motivation to do more of the same activity. If they're promoting you and you're rewarding them for that, they're going to keep promoting you, right? It drives motivation, and it, like, by introducing tiers, what you're doing is you're recognizing those who are getting in more results, which also builds this kind of healthy competition amongst your ambassador community, so that everybody's trying to get the reward and they do more and you promote more and everybody wins, right? They try to reach the higher and higher status of rewards to get more, right? So it's good. It's an incentive structure that keeps influencers motivated. That's number one. Number two is they don't switch to promoting your competitors. Tomorrow, like, this is a very real fact of an influencer program, is tomorrow a well-funded competitor or a competitor with better margins is going to come and they're going to offer a higher commission percentage to your exact influencers. What keeps them from switching, right? What keeps them from switching is these other soft benefits that you get, like the reward structure. They're like, hey, I've already accrued, let's say they're going to get rewarded at 100 sales and they've already accrued 65 sales. They're like, why should I start from scratch with another brand when I could just do this and get a higher reward here, right? So make sure that the creators are loyal and keeps them engaged. Number three is it creates an emotional connection with your brand. Now, a lot of times us as marketers, we tend to get qualitative. We talk about ROI, ROAS, all of these metrics, which is good, and we should, like, marketing should be profitable, but you have to also consider some of these other impacts that you're driving with the creators that you work with. They connect with you emotionally because and I'm going to cover this in the videos, you can go beyond just monetary compensation for the rewards, right? It helps build a personal connection with them, which keeps them engaged. They see that you're really committed to working with them as a partner, and that goes a long way in building this emotional sort of relationship with the creator. So those are the three reasons why I think tiered rewards and rewards in general are important, because it keeps them motivated, it keeps them loyal and engaged to the brand so they don't promote competitors, and you build an emotional connection with them, you build a true relationship with them, which is what we're in the game of anyway, right? So now that you understand that tiered rewards are important and why they're important, let's dive into how you can implement those. So here's how you think about it. I've made other videos on the exact commission structure. You should go watch that video if you just need help picking your basic commission structure. But if you've done that already, here's what you should do next, right? It usually helps to have 3 tiers to your program, although you can also start with 2. So if you have, let's say, a 15% commission tier as the baseline, you create 2 more tiers, an intermediate tier, and then let's call it an elite tier, right? So you have 2 more tiers, a base tier, which is like an intro tier, let's say it's 15%. Intermediate, you keep it at something like, you make it a small bump and you make it after an immediate kind of like easy to reach milestone. So not super easy, but then relatively easy. So for example, let's say you have a 15%, then you bump it to 20%. So 15 and 20 is not that big of a difference, but you make sure that the middle tier is relatively easy to reach by keeping it at, you reward influencers by giving them the intermediate commission tier by keeping it at, say, let's say your first 15 sales and you get promoted. And it's also not too high of a bump, so you're not worried. You can make that intermediate tier, and I'll tell you why. And then you have an elite tier, which is like super high. Like you can keep that 30%, 35%, really high. And then that one you make hard to achieve also. That the reason why this is critical is, I've seen brands make this mistake, is that they would have an initial tier at say 15%, and then they would have like a middle tier at say 25%, but then to get the 25%, the influencer has to do some like drive 100 sales or something like that, which yes, some influencers will get there over 6 months, but nobody's going to do that immediately, right? And the goal is for you to build the habit of promoting your brands. First reward as quickly as you can. So you give them that, or like, hey, you're promoted by just doing this basic activity. If you get like 15 sales, you get an additional 5%. Your tiers are structured in a way where you have a lower bump first for a lower effort and then a much higher bump later. So what that does is you incentivize the action takers quickly so they get that hit, and then they keep taking more and more action to get that higher degree of reward, right? So make sure that you are structuring your rewards in these 3-tiered reward manner. Now, second point that I want to drive home is you don't just because I said commissions doesn't mean you have to always think in terms of commissions or monetary value, right? Ensure that every tier that you have in your program is also offering something more than simple commissions to your influencers or just money, right? You could have some sort of a giveaway offer. Like we've seen affiliate programs actually give away Teslas to their top performing affiliates of the year. And so you could give away a car, you could give away more free product, you could do events with them, whatever niche you're in. We've seen some brands who are into fitness cover an annual gym subscription at a premium gym for some of their top performing influencers. So it doesn't always have to be higher commissions, and you'd be surprised how much these kind of soft other benefits are valued more than just simple commissions, because everybody tends to offer commissions, right? But not many people go beyond and think, hey, what does this person, this influencer truly care about, and how can we offer it to them as part of a reward tier? So make sure that you're not stopping at commissions and think creatively about the type of rewards that you want to give your influencers. Now, the final tip that I want to give you is make sure that you brand your tiers. So I've spoken about briefly before about branding your affiliate or ambassador program. Like for example, Gymshark calls their affiliate program an athlete program, or they call their ambassadors or affiliates Gymshark athletes. So they don't call them affiliates, they give them an identity to be associated with, and that's what Sephora calls it, Sephora Squad. So you have your main brand of your ambassador program, and make sure you also give fun, quirky names to your tiers, right? Because then people can associate with, like, hey, let's say you're a martial arts brand, you could be something like a novice tier, then you have a, let's say, coach tier, and then let's say you have a master tier, right? So you give these interesting quirky names to your tiers so that people can say, hey, I'm a master, hey, I'm a coach, or something like that. They could like for example, Pura Vida names their tiers sand and surf, so they give, it doesn't even have to be hierarchical, it could just be something that's related to your niche, right? So make sure that you're branding your tiers. So those were my 3 tips, right? You make sure that you have 3 tiers, you structure them in the strategic way that I mentioned. You don't stop at just the commission increment, you also do other soft things that are beyond just more money for the creator. You make sure that you're branding your program right so people can build an association with the tier that they are on. Now, if you're wondering how do I put this in action, I understand the strategy and everything, but where do I build these tiers? Well, if you're using SARAL, which is the software that I run, you can create multiple tiers and you can move influencers around tiers based on their performance. So make sure you check that out. I'll leave a link in the description. More so beyond that, if you're also worried about, one of the things that we recently launched is called dynamic discount codes that helps you prevent coupon code leaks. I won't dive too much into that. I'm sure we've made a video on it. I'll link it. But then if you're building these multiple tiers, I think making sure that your coupon codes don't leak is going to be very, very important. So make sure you check that video out. So there you have it. We all love the feeling of being rewarded. So you make sure that you're leveraging that feeling and building it into your influencer marketing program. Now, if you want to check out SARAL, there is a link in the description to get a free trial so you can actually build this reward structure. If you have any questions, any comments, make sure you leave them in the comment section below, and like this video if you like it. Helps with the algorithm a little bit. And thank you so much for watching till the very end. I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.